Okay, so Speedy the Sloth, we are going to be starting the arms today, and for that you need both the tan color A that we were working with before and, well, they call it brown, and B, natural. We're starting with this one. So you make 2 of these. They're identical, so I'll only show one. And it has starting with the chain 2 method, which I suppose I will do. And let's see. I don't really think it matters so much when it's looped like this which end we start with. They both seem kind of less than optimal. We'll start with this one, I guess. Okay. So B, hook, we're going to chain 2. So first we're going to make a slip knot. Bring the yarn around your thumb. Hold it between the fingers of your left hand. Pinch it between your thumb and middle finger. Move that loop over to the other finger and then tighten like so. Put it on your hook and tighten down. Now the chain, we're going to press back against our working yarn, hook, and rotate that hook to catch that yarn, and then pull that through the loop on our hook for 1 chain. Do it again for 2. This is the loop on our hook. This is the first chain from our hook. This is the second chain from our hook down here. So now we're going to do 5 single crochet in the second chain from our hook, and you will need a stitch marker of some variety. I will grab one in a moment. So we're going to insert into underneath this loop right here, the second chain from our hook, which is the first chain that we made. So insert into there, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops for 1. Now into the same spot, we're going to do that again for 2, again, 3, working our way around. I'm rotating it as I go. 4 and 5. Now, especially for this first, oh wait, did I not get through the center with that one? Oh no, I did. That tail was just making it look like I didn't. This first line of stitches is kind of going to be facing up towards you rather than being on the outside edge. That's okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So I'm going to grab my stitch marker. And now the second row, we are just doing a single crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to do my first single crochet into this stitch right here. And again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches back from where our hook is. So I'm going to slip under both loops of this stitch and complete a single crochet. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker in. Now with rows this small, you could just count to keep track, but anything can happen to interrupt your counting. So I just usually use stitch markers anyway. And then 1 single crochet in each stitch around. I'll just demonstrate this the first time, and then rounds 3 and 4 I'll do off camera. But this was our first stitch of this round here. This little bit left over, that's not the next stitch that we work into. That's the rest of this one. So be aware of that. The next stitch we work into is this guy right here, this loop and this loop. So I'm going to slip under these 2 loops, do a single crochet. Now this is cupping toward me. We're going to need to face this around the other way, but I'm going to weave this tail in first. Okay, so again, this is the corner of the stitch we just worked here, these 2 loops. So our next stitch is these 2 loops right here. So we're gonna slip under there, complete that single crochet, rotate again. This here is the loop that we just worked into. You can see how this loop comes down and it goes underneath those two loops. So we're all the way over here at this one. So I'm going to insert under both of those and complete that single crochet. And then here is our last one right here. So I'll slip under both of those. Now before I move on, when you start with the chain 2, it leaves a visible hole in your work. So like if I move that tail aside, you can see that. We're going to close that up. Even though this end is technically secured, we're going to make it smaller, which I need my needle for that. So I'm just going to take this, thread it through, and real quick, let me bring this loop up so that it won't slip out and pull this hook out for right now. I'm just going to kind of go around this circle, going underneath nearby stitches here. I don't have to be real specific, it's just to close this up. And then once I've worked my way around, I'm just going to tighten. I just want to get underneath one more. So pull to tighten to close that up. Then I'm going to hop under a nearby stitch just to tie this off so this doesn't loosen. I'm going to grab this as I pull the needle through so that I don't flatten this all the way down. And then just tie that off like that. Tighten that down. And continue going. So now I'm going to turn this inside out, or rather right side out, because this is our right side that's facing us now. Put my hook back in the proper way. And I'm just kind of gonna sort of wrap this guy up and just shove him down in there as best as I can. If he gets annoying later, I'll trim him down. So now 2 more rows, 3 and 4 of single crochet in each stitch around, just like we did. Move your stitch marker each time and then I'll be back. Okay, so we are at round 5, which is single crochet in each stitch around, but we're going to do a color change in the last stitch. So I'll take my stitch marker out, do my first single crochet, and you want to be careful not to catch any loops from the other side like this here. You can see that. I usually use this finger to hold that other side down when working with small pieces like this. So that's one. We're going to just work around. Single crochet in each stitch around. Now when we get to our last stitch, we're going to start the single crochet, but we are not going to finish it. Because we will do the color change in that stitch. Stop being an annoying thing. Hold still. Okay. There we go. All right, last stitch. So we're going to insert, we're going to yarn over and pull that loop up, but then we're going to drop this yarn and we're going to complete the stitch with this yarn. So that's laying down. I'm just going to loop this over my hook and hold it there and just pull through with this yarn and then tighten down. And now for our next round, we're going to be doing 2 single crochet in the first stitch here, but I'm going to take out my stitch marker and I'm just going to do my first single crochet, and I'm going to do it around my tail here. So I'm going to It's hard to tell these tops of stitches apart in this light color for you guys, but this loop and this loop here, like so. I'm going to make sure that this tail is over my hook like that. And then I'm going to just finish that first single crochet like this. Put my stitch marker back. And now before I move on, before I even put the second crochet in there, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tie these two together just to secure both ends, and then trim the tan end, or the natural end, I guess is what they're calling it. So not, and then I'm going to do it one more time and then trim this with the scissors that are nearby. Okay, so now I'm going to take the other end of my hook and just kind of push these guys down in here. Hey, get in there. Sometimes they need a little assistance getting in there. Okay, that's better. To get them out of the way. Now, continuing with this row, which is round 6 now. It wants a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. We've already done the first one. So a single crochet in one stitch, we'll do a single crochet in the next stitch. Like so. And then it says increase. So in the next stitch, we are going to do 2 single crochet. So our next stitch is right here. So I'll insert under both of those loops there, this one and this one. And I will put 2 single crochet in here. I didn't get under this entire loop. I can feel it on the hook. Slip back under there, see if I can get under both of them this time. So that's 1, and then in the same spot, we're going to put a second one for the increase. 2. Okay. Now single crochet in the next 2. So here's 1 and 2, last 2 stitches of the round. Put 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet here, and that round is done. Now 7 through 21, single crochet in each stitch around. So that's basically it for the arms. I'll come back at the end. I would recommend writing out 7, 8, 9 all the way through 21 and marking them off as you go, or writing the number of the round as you finish it. But yeah, I'll be back after this little guy is done. Okay, here we are, end of round 21. Now, if you're wondering, why do I need to keep track of where my round ends? And can't I just crochet until I have the right number of rows? The answer is yeah, you pretty much could if you wanted to. You probably wouldn't have the right amount of stitches in your last row. If you counted like from both sides and got 21 from both sides, like you're close enough. Your arms might not be exactly identical. Like if you did that on both arms, your last round might have 2 less stitches or whatever. You'll be close enough though. So if you just want to work these rounds until they seem long enough and then count the rounds until you have 21, you could do that. So this center here, this center circle is 1 round, and then each line of stitches up after that is a round. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our color change 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I must have had like more stitch to do. So anyway, it doesn't really matter that much as, you know, you're going to be the same, the right length anyway. So now, let's see, we're going to fasten off and lightly stuff. We're going to leave a tail for sewing. So I'm going to slip stitch in my next stitch here and just pull up a loop from under that stitch, pull it through the loop on your hook, tighten down. And then we won't need a very big tail for this. I'm just going to kind of wrap this around twice and have that be my estimated tail. Because with things like this, it really, as long as they look the same to you, you know, like the exact number of stitches in your last round isn't of a huge importance. So then we're supposed to stuff lightly. So I'm going to just take a bit of stuffing. I'm going to use the other end of my hook. And I'm just sort of like grabbing some of this and folding it and then pressing it down in. And I'm using my fingers to sort of funnel it in. Like so. And it can look like nothing is happening for a long while, but little bits are getting in there. Probably you could get away with not really putting any stuffing in here. So now I'm gonna try to work that stuffing around a little. Spread it out some. And then I'm going to basically just do what I just did again with a little bit more stuffing for the top. And then this arm will be done. I'll do the other arm off camera. And I think we'll do the eyes and then stop after the eyes. So I'll be back after this arm is stuffed and we'll start the eyes. I have discovered another way of doing this for these long skinny arms. So I'm making a little ball. And then shoving it down to where I want by doing this with it. And it's working pretty nicely for like the length of these arms to get it spread out in like a sort of more consistent way. Okay, so dark brown. You're also, oh, this is, where's my arm? That's what it looks like. All stuffed. So I'll make the other one off camera at some point and the second eye as well. We're going to take our dark brown. This is a quick one, so I'll probably just, or a short round, so I'll just do it. Okay, so does it look like the eyes are placed in the center? Maybe. Okay, so we are going to chain 2, 6 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So slip knot like we did earlier. I'm gonna wait on weaving the tail around the edge inside to close the hole once until I know where the eyes are gonna go. If the eyes go through the center, like the safety eyes go through the center of the eye we're making, then I'm not going to do it. Does it tell us? Center eye button. Yeah, it goes through the center. So we're not going to do that to give the safety eye a little space. So chain 2, 1, 2, 6 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So right here, don't slip on me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This next round is 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So I got my stitch marker, my first single crochet. I'll slip my stitch marker in, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then in the last 11 and 12, and then single crochet in the next, and then increase alternating around. So first single crochet here, put our stitch marker back, and then in the next 1, 2, or if you want to count in 1, 2, 3s, we'll do 1 single crochet in the next, and then 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then our last 2 stitches, 1, and then 2 and 3 in the last, and then we will fasten off. So a slip stitch in the next, and estimate our tail for sewing. I will probably weave this end in a little and trim it, not around the eye to tighten it, but just to neaten it up a little, or maybe I'll leave it there for now, we'll see. So guesstimate our tail for sewing the eye, and that is all. So next time we should be able to do the head, but in the meantime I'll make the extra pieces, and hope this was helpful.